In this video, I'm going to be following every Marc Brunet tutorial on his YouTube channel in hopes of improving my art. Marc's an insanely good artist and I'm looking to see how much I can learn from him. I just bought Procreate, so I'll be using it to do this challenge digitally. Starting we have a car video. Yeah, I'm just going to be following the actual art tutorials. Okay, so skipping over the Chroma Island stuff, we have a head tutorial. And it's just Loomis method. He's showing it with a bit of his own style and interpretations and just following it is nice and good to always practice. I just found out the way to make perfect circles and arcs using Procreate, so I was kind of abusing it for these first few. I'm drawing the head in a few different angles like he's showing, and then at the end doing a full body made of cylinders. He goes over it really fast, but he gives a helpful guide to some anatomy on top of the body as a bonus. Now, speaking of anatomy, his next video is a full guide to anatomy, which I'm trying to watch and copy some of the things that I feel I'd benefit from drawing, and I do it the same kind of way for most of the challenge. The next one was a colouring tutorial, and here I decided to go on a side quest in which I spend way too long trying to make a good drawing to colour. I look for different references and try different things, some of which turn out pretty decent. I'm still not happy for some reason. So I eventually just end up tracing an image which I use for the colouring tutorial. Now he goes from grayscale to colour in pretty much all of his tutorials, but I don't mind and I can see how it's inspired from 3D, so that's exactly what I do. He also uses gradient maps which I think are a lot better in Photoshop than Procreate. I make do, and after adding some beautiful lights, the drawing turned out pretty nice. After speeding through a few more, we get to the lighting one, and I got the sketch super nice for some reason on a drawing that turned out really good with the colour. I struggled a decent bit with the environment, it's not something I'm too comfortable with, and I just gave up on adding any more foliage, and I did because it would just take way too long. I carry on watching tons more tutorials and doing things like gesture drawing, practicing my line confidence and drawing basic 3D volumes, and some more complex ones that turned out really cool from imagination. There's another environment tutorial, and as you'll see, some of these tutorials and advice he gives can start to get a bit repetitive throughout this challenge. I think it's actually good as it kind of ingrains the advice a bit more into me and gets me to practice it more often than just once. So here you can see a little bit of the environment I drew was looking better than the first time. I also colour some skin which turns out okay, and a bit of shading using the smudge tool looks really good. And a night as well, which I try to use a bit of colour theory on. I think once my sketches get a bit better, using correct colour harmonies is such an easy method to make a huge impact on my art in a good way. And this random video where he shows some stuff to how to draw in a manga style, one of the ways he drew lips just stuck with me and I ended up using it throughout this challenge for the rest of it, with it looking really good. And all throughout this challenge there were small nuggets of gold and random moments like this, which I can't say how many there were that I didn't expect and turned out to be really useful tips. I just went too fast with this portrait, but I'm still learning useful things, even if I just sketch down quickly some stuff while watching the video. I like the recipes that he shows throughout the different videos, and some just really stuck. Speaking of that, it makes sense that some of these videos helped more than others, just because of my current art skill. Like his video on how to draw complex dynamic poses just really didn't help me, simply because I can't draw simple poses super accurately, even though the information in the video was good compared to other videos that just came at the right time and helped me so much. Now, as we're almost halfway through this challenge, I did a pretty quick drawing to try and use some of the stuff that I've been learning. I didn't apply everything, although for the very hard perspective that I chose, the way that I was able to use construction due to having to draw all the boxes from the earlier practice made a huge difference in my ability to get the perspective right, and was something definitely missing from my art. I add some simple colour with just one light, done probably too quickly, but I'm still really happy with how much progress I've made so far. Okay, so going into the second half of the challenge, it's all looking okay. I get a few nice hand drawings, one again using 3D shapes along with some others that look fine. He gives me a few drawing exercises to do, which I think I do decently. It's not hard to use the features in Procreate which just allow me to cheat, but I restrain myself and do it properly. The trapeziums were messing me up as the middle seemed way off, but whatever. After that I was just continuing like normal and made a few different faces that turned out pretty good. I used some different things that I had learned, as well as doing the hair with pretty much just one shape like Marc said, and then changing the size and varying it a bit makes the hair look really good with correct shape language, which is something that I'd never really thought about before, but helped a ton. I did a bit of anatomy and I'm onto a 30-day drawing challenge, which I definitely didn't do in 30 days. There's a lot of drawing 3D volumes, which is always good to practice, as well as some different point perspectives. I think the maze looks really good. I carry on going through the videos, learning how to make clothing folds among other things, till I get to a video on cell shading, which I used to colour one of the faces I made earlier, turning out quite nice. Now, while I do this anatomy challenge, I should say how much respect I gained from Marc during this challenge. He's insanely good at art. He really knows pretty much every muscle in the body that you can draw, as well as so much other stuff, it's crazy. So, the anatomy practice has helped a decent bit, but now I jump forward a little bit to a 30-day character drawing challenge, as this is what I wanted to practice first. So I do. He has some cool things to do, and although he says not to do it in just one day and actually take your time with it, I'm sorry I did it in 2 days because it's my only way if I don't want this challenge to take literally years as it would have if I didn't skip the 1-year art study schedule that he puts up. Going back to a few videos to get the final stuff that I missed, I do this cool shading challenge using an image, trying to modify it and then going on to a drawing using his latest colouring tutorial. Can you tell the anime character it's inspired from? I did it from imagination and it looks so good. I did it quickly as well and feel I didn't even use close to everything I've learned from this challenge. I do a few final hand and feet practice plus a random guy and that's it. I learned so much from this challenge and I feel my art has definitely improved from it.